Hello and welcome to another LEGO video. Today I am going to be showing you set 75198 Tatooine Battle Pack. This includes 2 Jawas and a sand person. I believe this sand person's head mould is unique to this particular sand person, and really you'd need 5 or 6 of these battle packs to have a reasonable number of people. However, they are only £9. So, as I'm starting to do with these Star Wars videos, I'm going to do the figures first for Star Wars, and for everything else, the figures last. Because for Star Wars and Harry Potter, they are the only 2 themes I prefer the figures to the build overall. So, we're going to start with the 2 Jawas. As they're identical, let's just take one out of the mix. So, let's start with its hood. They say no one's ever seen under a Jawa's hood, even though Luke and Obi-Wan actually burn a load of them on a funeral pyre. Why they didn't take off the Jawa's hoods then? Maybe just out of respect, or maybe out of lack of curiosity. Anyway, under the Jawa's hood is black head mould and 2 sun-like eyes, as in the sun that lights up the earth. Stud shooter, yeah, great, wonderful. Other than the amazing stud shooter, we have some pretty interesting printing. That was ironic. That was me being ironic, by the way. Which sometimes I'm good at. Anyway, we have here what appears to be a utility belt down each side. Yeah, and it's got sort of stripes to represent printing on the raggedness. Now, actually, I've just realised the 2 Jawas prints are completely different. However, I've been looking at only one of them for ages. So once again, stud shooter. That one went a bit further. Hood. Head. Remove stud shooter. So this time the body print, more or less the same, only more stuff on the utility belt, what appears to be bullets, and much more ragged top. Same applies on the back. So anyway, that's the 2 Jawas. Then we move on to the sand people, which are kind of interesting. Something else that you never see beneath their hood, apparently, except from on their wedding days, according to the Star Wars Encyclopedia. Anyway, this has got a pretty good staff, slash possibly gun. Can't be too sure, but anyway. Has a ice cream cone in grey, bar, lightsaber bar really, for the length, in brown, like in the old Harry Potter sets. With these funny joints, and a cone, obviously. Next, the actual sand person. They seem to have decided that all people in the desert need utility belts, because utility belt design appears to be almost exactly the same with the same crossing. I suppose it's a little Eastern, which these do look a little desert-like, really. Very desert-like clothing at any rate. And a little bit like 1930s Desert Warriors, as seen in Tintin. So, obviously that's not a sweeping statement that everyone looks like they would in Tintin. Hergé was Belgium, and a reporter. Obviously, he had some bias. And I'm not suggesting that that is how we should look at people. But I'm just comparing it to that. So anyway, he has good utility belt printing, what appears to be a form of Oh, by the way, if you can see this cup is my drink, which I'm going to be drinking at certain points. I'm waiting for it to get cold enough. And you have good lead printing, air tank purifier thing, good back printing as well, which is actually almost exactly the same as the Ewoks again. Certainly the same kind of ragged clothing printing. And then a really superb head mould. Which is one of the things that drew me to buying this set, actually. Another interesting thing. No, you're not meant to be a Cyclops, you're meant to be managed to position the head so only one eye could be seen. So the next bit is the actual build. So let's put the two figures in minus their stud shooters because that's big and bulky and gets in the way. It's a little bit hot. Anyway, so it suggests on the box art that you have them fending off an attack from the sand people. When there's one sand person and two Jawas, it doesn't make much sense. Especially as the Jawas don't actually appear to be either ones who are being attacked, because the sand people look like they're the ones being attacked. Anyway, this was released probably almost 2 years ago. Because that's the Force Awakens logo. I just know I got it on discount and thought it would make a good video. So anyway, the build itself has 2 stud shooters. Yay! It's amazing, isn't it? Loads of stud shooters. At least these studs are super useful. Actually, I used all the spares on my water in my medieval layout. Anyway, it has a spanner and a sledgehammer. My favourite bit about this build is the fact that you can actually pick up a protocol droid, lift it, put it down. Now, this protocol droid is in effect R2-D2 and R4-D4 or R4-D2 or R2-D4 or whatever it is. It's got the red head but the blue outlined body, so it looks almost like something they've built out of 2 destroyed droids. Anyway, it's also designed to look like it's running on tracks, and the arm is designed to stop it from just collapsing really easily or going up too high. It has a pretty good idea here to stop it just going up and bending around and losing its shape. So I think this is a really good build. I think at the original cost, no way. However, at £9, I think the cheapest I ever saw it for was £7, but those ones sold out almost immediately. Anyway, I think it is a very good set for what it is, and it has sand crawling tracks. And if you really wanted to, you could change these out for wheels, because that is a wheelbase that just needs a couple of plates underneath it, well, really on top of it, to make it tall enough. So, thank you for watching. This has been mousebricks, and goodbye. One last thing, I'm not sure when I'm going to be releasing this. I might actually release it almost 2 weeks after I've made it, just because I'm running low on content. However, I did make this the same day that I made the other Star Wars videos. So thank you for watching, and